Hello everyone, welcome back to the JDCodebase. In this video, we are going to learn CSS transition and animation. If your website feels static, boring, or not smooth when user hover, click, or interact, this video will completely change how your UI feels. Don't worry, if you are a beginner, I will explain everything step by step from zero with real example and live coding. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand when to use transition, when to use animation, and how professional creates smooth UI effect. So let's start. So this video is about CSS transition and animation, smooth UI effect, and motion design. And this is part of our web development series. So in this video, you will learn what CSS transition really are, how duration, delay, and easing work, how transform a function like scale, rotate, translate, skew work. Then we will move to animation using keyframe, understand the difference between the transition and animation, and finally performance tips and real world example. So this is not just theory, there is real UI knowledge also. Now, first, let's understand why why animation are important. Animation improve user experience. They make your website feel smooth and professional. For example, when you hover on a button and it slightly moves or change color smoothly, that feels good, right? Animation guide user attention, give feedback, and are used everywhere. Buttons, cards, loaders, menu, modals. Today, modern website feels incomplete without animation. Now, let's start with CSS transition. A transition allows an element to change smoothly from one state to another. For example, without transition, a button color change instantly. With transition, it changes smoothly over time. And transition are triggered by hover, focus, active, and over time means when a class change using the JavaScript. So remember, this line transition needs trigger. So this is the basic syntax of transition: property name, duration, timing function, and delay. So we define what property to animate, how long it should take, how the speed behaves, and optional delay. Don't worry if this feels confusing, we will understand it clearly in VS Code within a minute. Here are the individual transition properties. You can animate width, height, background, transform, and more. Duration defines how long animation runs. Means 1 second, 0.3 second, or 500 millisecond. Delay means the how late it start. Timing function concept control the speed, slow, fast, or smooth. Easing control how animation feels. Linear means same speed. Is default and feel natural. And ease in start flow slow, ease out and slow. And good easing makes animation look professional. Now most transition are used with hover. Normal state is the hovered state. But buttons, cards, images, navbar links all use transition. Now instead of just talking, let's move to VS Code and write the real code. So this is a basic template of HTML having a reset CSS, margin 0, padding 0, box sizing border box, and a div having a class box. So let's add the dot box. Width is the 150 pixel, height is the 150 pixel, background is the light blue. Yes, it works. Let's add a body, display flex, justify content center, align item center, and height is the 100 view height. So it's coming to the means center. So we created a simple box and center it. No animation yet. This is the base element. Now let's add the hover without the transition. For that dot box hover and background becomes tomato. So when I hover on this, it becomes the tomato color. See, when I hover, the color change instantly. This feels sharp and unnatural. Let's add the transition. So for transition, add the transition background color 0.3 second and ease. So let's see. So if you see, notice one important thing, transition is written in the base state, like in the here, not the hover one. Now hover again, smooth changes here, that's the transition. You can also write here, no issue with that, it works. And let's add the transform with the transition, means let's add the transition all 0.3 second is, and add the on the hover transform scale by 1.1. See, this scale means the zoom. This is how image zoom and card hover effect works. And remember, transform always write in the hover form and transition in the normal one works. Now other transition are the let's say transform rotate by 60 degree. So if you see this work, rotate by 60 degree. Let's add a transform translate waveform in the -10 pixel, not -1, -10. If you see it means translate move it smoothly, means upward, up direction. And last one is the skew, transform skew, let's say x by 10 degree. Skew tilts it. See how is it? Always prefer transform, it is the fast and smooth. Now next is the we will cover this scale, rotate, translate and skew. Scale is for normal, means zoom in, and normal is the 1, and upper the value 1 is the zoom in, and shrink is the 0 point, means less than 1. Transform rotate is the like here I already show you, and translate x y means translate x from this to this, and translate y from up and down direction. Skew means the tilt the shape by some degree. And you can also combine the scale plus rotate, translate plus scale, and multiple effect also. Now let's talk about the CSS animation. Animation runs automatically, no hover, no click needed. It is controlled using the keyframe, and use animation for the loader, infinite effect, or multi-step motion. Now keyframe define animation step. 0% is the start, 100% is the end. You can move, rotate, fade, or scale, whatever you want. So let's move to the VS Code and write here. Like in the media query, we write @media. So for that, here in the animation, we have to write keyframe. Let's make the move box 0% is the transform by translate x 0. So nothing happens. 100% is the transform translate x by 200 pixel. It works. And let's add into the dot box animation and apply this move box animation. 1 second is in out, and infinite means run infinite and alternate. box, if you see here, means it works. This box moves automatically, no hover needed. This is the animation. And you can also add by like rotate by 180 degree. So if you see here, this 180 degree it rotates. And also like translate 500 pixel. So it works, means you can play with that whatever you want, means next is the transition and animation. Remember this create transition needs trigger, animation runs on its own. Use transition for the UI transaction interaction, and use animation for the loader, loop, or motion effect. So always animate transform and opacity. Avoid animating width, height, top, left margin, and they cause the layout reflow and slow UI. So some best practices is keep animation short and simple, not overload with that. Animation should be help the user, not the distract. Consistency is the matter, means so let's summarize the some real world example. Button hover effect, card lift effect, nav bar underline slide, image zoom on hover or shrink, loader animation, move, fade or scale. So these are some real world example. So let's summarize. Transitions are for smooth state changes, animation are for continuous motion. Transform give the best performance, good animation improve user experience. So that is for this video on CSS transition and animation. If you are a beginner and understood this, trust me, you are doing great. Animation are not magic, they are just small rules. Apply correctly. The PPT and complete source code are available in the video description, so make sure to check them. If this video helped you, like it, share it, and subscribe to JDCodebase for more beginner friendly web development tutorials. See you in the next video.